Hey guys, Everything NFL here, and today I'm bringing you a new video. It's not a free agency review, something a little bit different. I have been promising. I promised it last week, it didn't come, but it's coming this week. It's my first mock draft for the 2020 NFL mock draft that is coming up at the end of April. This is a no trades. There's going to be no trades, even though there obviously will be on draft day. I'll be doing my own draft with trades at some point. Sorry about there was no video yesterday. Something very important came up, and obviously I couldn't make a video. So, but back today, back to the grind, back to the everyday video grind, and yeah, let's kick it right off. With the first pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Cincinnati Bengals select Joe Burrow, quarterback out of LSU. Andy Dalton is on his way out. He's gone. He's going to be on the trade block, or he is on the trade block. They're going to look for a new franchise quarterback. Joe Burrow, obviously playing in LSU, former Mr. Ohio. He's an Ohio kid. What more do you want? The team needs a franchise quarterback, one of the most electrifying players college football has ever seen. One of the best individual seasons by a quarterback ever. So Joe Burrow, number one to the Bengals. It's not hard to see. On my big board, this player is the best player in the draft. Going number 2 to the Washington Redskins in the 2020 draft is Chase Young, defensive end out of Ohio State. Best player in college football, no, without a shadow of a doubt. He's just an animal coming off the edge. You can kind of compare him to a Myles Garrett or a Nick Bosa. I think personally he's got a higher ceiling than Myles Garrett, and he could be just as good as Nick Bosa. So I think this is an easy pick to make. Him with like Daron Payne, Matthew Ioannidis, even Ryan Kerrigan on one side could form one of the most lethal front threes or front fives, however Washington go ahead with it, in the National Football League, and Washington's defence could be scary next season with this pick. With the number 3 pick, the Detroit Lions select cornerback out of Ohio State, Jeffrey Okudah. He was amazing last season. People complain about his sloppiness. I didn't really see much of it when I watched his tape. I thought he was amazing. Trading away Darius Slay to the Philadelphia Eagles pretty much confirms that this pick's going to happen, even though I do think they'll trade back in the real draft for a pick with either the Lions or with the Chargers or the Dolphins. Even possibly other teams could look for a trade up maybe, but I think it's either going to be the Chargers or the Dolphins that move up to number 3. Jeffrey Okudah is amazing. He'll be a solid addition into that team straight away, and will form a key piece in that defense going into the future. At number 4, the New York Giants select Tristan Wirfs, offensive tackle out of Iowa. They need a tackle. They need to protect Daniel Jones. Nate Solder is terrible. Mike Remmers has gone to the Kansas City Chiefs. So they need a tackle. They need someone to protect Daniel Jones. He's there. They invested the 6th overall pick in Daniel Jones last year, so they've got to go big and pick up another tackle. It's a shame they're picking this high again. Shows they didn't really do much progress, but Tristan Wirfs is fantastic. At this position, I had it as a bit of a toss-up with Mekhi Becton or out of Louisville. Some people even say Jedrick Wills, but Jedrick Wills is like the 4th tackle on my board. I don't really see him going in the top 5. But yeah, he'll be amazing. He'll be an instant starter on that Giants team and will develop and grow into one of the best tackles in the league. Number 5 overall, the Miami Dolphins will select Tua Tagovailoa, quarterback out of Alabama. He has got some injury worries, but personally, in my opinion, if he didn't get injured, he'd have been the number 1 pick in the draft. He's the best. I think he's the best quarterback in this class outside of Joe Burrow, and with pure ceiling and talent, I think he's the best. And if we get him, we could possibly have our franchise quarterback with us then. If he comes with us, he'll possibly sit behind Ryan Fitzpatrick for the year and learn and grow and improve. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think Tua will be a Dolphin come April. With the 6th pick, I have the Los Angeles Chargers taking Justin Herbert, quarterback out of Oregon. Personally, I don't think Justin Herbert is that high. If I was the GM of the Chargers, I wouldn't be going anywhere near him. The Chargers are moving forward with Tyrod Taylor as their starter going into the 2020 season. He won't. If Justin Herbert gets drafted, he won't play straight away. I think he'll sit behind Tyrod Taylor. But personally, I see too many accuracy issues, and he doesn't really know how to throw a touch pass or loft it into certain areas. He kind of just tries to rifle it everywhere, and I don't think he's got the arm, but he doesn't have the accuracy. And the Chargers are building up an offensive line that will help him, and will help Tyrod Taylor even. So the Chargers could be interesting next year. They've got the weapons. Keenan Allen. They just re-signed Hunter Henry. At running back, they've got Austin Eckler, etc., etc. They've got a lot of work there. With the number 7th overall pick, I have the Carolina Panthers taking Derek Brown, a defensive tackle out of Auburn. They need to stop the run. It looks like Dontari Poe is going to go to Dallas, so he's gone. They need someone to take over, and what better than the second-rated player on my board, Derek Brown. I think he's amazing. I think he'll help that team straight away. Matt Rule is rebuilding up his defence. The Panthers are pretty much rebuilding and changing the whole face of the franchise. They've got Teddy Bridgewater, who will be their starting quarterback. And yeah, I think Derek Brown will be a fantastic addition to the team. He'll be a fantastic addition to wherever he goes in this draft. But number 7 to the Panthers is perfect. Number 8, the Arizona Cardinals. I have them selecting Mekhi Becton, a tackle out of Louisville. Fantastic combine, 6'7". He's 6'7", like 360 pounds or something. And he ran a flat 5, like unreal. He's a freak. He's huge. I originally, in my first mock draft before DeAndre Hopkins was traded to Arizona, I had them taking CeeDee Lamb. But yeah, I think that Mekhi Becton is perfect for him at this position. They give Kyler Murray some protection, and Kyler Murray can get it into the ball of his receivers like Christian, get him into the hands of his receivers, Christian Kirk, DeAndre Hopkins, etc. Cardinals could have takeoff next season. They could be amazing. Number 9, first of Jacksonville's 2 first-round picks. I have them taking Isaiah Simmons, linebacker / safety out of Clemson. One of the most versatile players to come in the draft in years. The first player that's over 230 pounds. 230 pounds. He weighs 239 pounds to play, to run a 4.39. Absolutely amazing. I think Isaiah Simmons could turn into one of the best defensive players in the NFL. That's a bold statement, but I think that. And I think the Jaguars would happily take him with this pick. They've already got Miles Jack. Telvin Smith's getting old. Don't think he's ever going to play again. They've got Jake Ryan as well. I don't know if he's going to be there for too much longer. But yeah, Isaiah Simmons can even play safety. They've got Trey Herndon on the other side, and Harrison on the other, and he can play anywhere. Simmons can literally play anywhere on the defense and be good. So I think he'll be amazing. They're definitely the right pick here. The Cleveland Browns here, I have them selecting Jedrick Wills, the tackle out of Alabama. They just signed Jack Conklin and Hunter Henry, and if they get Jedrick Wills to play on the left-hand side, that offensive line is starting to look good. They've got some great weapons there. Austin Hooper, they signed in free agency, will play tight end. Obviously, Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham, etc., etc. They've got some fantastic weapons. If that Browns team gets going, the offense could be elite. At number 11, I have the New York Jets taking Andrew Thomas, offensive tackle out of Georgia. In my opinion, he's probably the third best tackle in this class. He's fallen off a bit. I had him as a lock to the Giants for a while at number 4, and now he's not going to be there. He's not going to go in the top 5. I haven't seen him fall into 11. Whatever the Jets choose to do, whether it is protect Sam Darnold. Personally, I don't rate Sam Darnold as highly as others do. I don't think Sam Darnold's a franchise quarterback. I know he's still young. He's still got a lot of work to do. But the Jets team is a bit of a dumpster fire. I don't think he's going to help the team. Andrew Thomas will help the team because he's that good. But Sam Darnold isn't the guy for them, I don't think. But the Jets are going to do what they want to do. Adam Gase is going to make the decision he wants to make. Screw you, Adam Gase. and yeah, I'm sure he'll be a good New York Jet. At number 12, the Las Vegas Raiders will take Jerry Jeudy out of Alabama. Personally, I think Jerry Jeudy it's really a toss-up between him and CeeDee Lamb, who's the best wide receiver in this class. I think he'll be good. I compare him to like Julio Jones. I don't know if he's got as big of a ceiling as Julio Jones, but he's got the size, he's got the speed. But yeah, Jerry Jeudy he'll be amazing wherever he lands. If he falls to 12, the Raiders need a wide receiver. They just signed Aguilar, who's terrible. But if he falls to 12, then why not take him? At number 13, the San Francisco 49ers acquired this pick in a trade with the Colts for DeForest Buckner. I have them taking CeeDee Lamb, wide receiver out of Oklahoma. Emmanuel Sanders has gone and signed with the New Orleans Saints, so that frees them up. They need a wide receiver. CeeDee Lamb's on the board. You get him if you need a wide receiver. That wide receiving team or corps is going to look good. Him and Deebo Samuel, George Kittle at tight end, three-headed running backs. It's going to look good for the 49ers. Another competitive season, I'm seeing for them. And this is a fantastic pick. Number 14, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I have them selecting Javon Kinlaw, defensive tackle out of Southern Carolina. I think with Vita Vea, in my opinion, is one of the best nose tackles in football right now. I think he's amazing. Put Javon Kinlaw next to him. Even if they do, I don't know, they've let Ndamukong Suh go. They've got William Golston, who isn't the best. But if Javon Kinlaw goes to the Buccaneers, that front three could look amazing. Or two of the front three anyway would look amazing. He'll play an end. He won't play inside because they got Vita Vea, who's the true nose tackle. And they'll go with that. Number 15, I have the Denver Broncos taking Henry Ruggs, wide receiver out of Alabama. Electrifying speed at the combine. I'm pretty sure he has it was anywhere between a 4.29 and a 4.27. I think he ran. Electrifying speed. The Broncos need a wide receiver. Courtland Sutton had a bit of a breakout year last year, was amazing. But I think now for them, their defense is alright. They've still got some holes there. But I think it's all about giving Drew Lock weapons. I like Drew Lock a lot, as you've probably heard me say about him in the videos a lot. But give him Henry Ruggs, and he's got a lot there. Number 16, this is probably a bit too high for some people, but I have the Atlanta Falcons taking CJ Henderson, cornerback out of Florida. They need a cornerback. Their best cornerback on their team at the moment is Isaiah Oliver. So they need a cornerback. CJ Henderson, I don't know if he'll be the right one here. I can see CJ Henderson falling a bit. He's not even my number one cornerback in my class, or how I rate him anyway. But yeah, I can see him going this high. The Falcons need cornerback help, and I think he'll be a good fit for the Falcons. Number 17 overall, I have the Cowboys taking Xavier McKinney, safety out of Alabama. Once again, another versatile player. Dallas needed. I think they've re-signed Xavier Woods, but a safety is needed. Xavier McKinney is that good that if he's there, you take him, and I don't think there'll be any problem with that. Number 18, the Miami Dolphins. I have them taking Kayvon Chason, edge out of LSU. He was pretty good last year. He's risen up the draft boards a lot. At the start of the season, I didn't even have him rated in the first round. Now I have him rated 18 going to the Dolphins, so he's improved a lot. The Dolphins need edge. They've just signed Emmanuel Ogbah, Shaq Lawson, Carl Van Noy will play linebacker obviously, but they've overhauled that defense. Well, Byron Jones. The defensive has been completely overhauled, and add Christian Fulton to that, and the team looks really good. Number 19, the Raiders. I have them taking Christian Fulton, cornerback out of LSU. He didn't have a very good national championship game against Clemson, but I think he's still a first round corner. Once again, he's still not even the top corner on my board, but I think he's still going to get taken there. The Raiders need a cornerback, and they'll take it. This one might shock a couple people. I have the Jaguars at 20 taking Ross Blacklock, defensive tackle out of TCU. Risen up draft boards a lot for me. I think he looks amazing. He looks like a player that I haven't ever seen before. And will slide right into that Jacksonville team. Taven Bryant's been a bit of a bust. Calais Campbell is gone. So put that on each side. You've got Josh Allen there, who's class. And then obviously he'll play inside. But Taven Bryan has been terrible. Still got Marcel Darius. I think he might go. But yeah, they need a defensive tackle, and Ross Blacklock, he's here. I think you take him, even if this is a sort of trade back scenario. Number 21, I have the Philadelphia Eagles taking Justin Jefferson out of LSU. Justin Jefferson had a fantastic season last year in college, partly because Joe Burrow was helping him. But yeah, he's a receiver. The Eagles need a receiver. They need to give Carson Wentz some weapons as long as Carson Wentz stays healthy. That's what he's had problems with most of his career. Carson Wentz is phenomenal, one of the best quarterbacks in the league if he's fully fit. but he hasn't been for a while, and give him more weapons, might be able to get the ball out quicker and have more reliable people out there to help him. This guy's the top cornerback on my board. At 22, I have the Minnesota Vikings taking Jeff Gladney, cornerback out of TCU. Rose up draft stocks a ton. Start of the year, I had him graded as a 3rd rounder. Now I have him graded as my top cornerback on the board. I just don't see I don't think other teams will. What's it called? Like, look at him as their number one. But I think he'll be the number one. I think he's my number one anyway. And the Vikings get a great addition after Trey Waynes has gone to the Bengals. Xavier Rhodes is a free agent, still hasn't been picked up, completely washed. They need a cornerback. I can see him going cornerback again later in the draft, whether it be Noah Igbeneghu or quite a lot of other options there. At 23, pardon me, I have the New England Patriots taking Jordan Love, quarterback out of Utah State. They've got Jarrett Stidham. Some rumours are saying they're going to go ahead with Jarrett Stidham. I don't think that'll happen. They've also re-signed Brian Hoyer for his 3rd stint with the team. He's pretty bad. I don't think they'll play him either. Jordan Love, he's a good. He's a quarterback. He's got some accuracy issues. Didn't really have a lot to work with at Utah State. 1st round credentials. I think he can be a solid player for New England and a solid quarterback on the board. And I think several teams will be looking at him and paying close attention to him. At 24, I have the New Orleans Saints taking Patrick Queen, linebacker out of LSU. I'm an LSU fan, so I pay a lot of attention to these players. Patrick Queen is another player that's risen up draft stocks a lot. I had him as a mid to late 2nd rounder. Now I see him at the bottom of the 1st round. I think the New Orleans Saints need a linebacker. Alex Anzalone is nothing special. They got Demario Davis, who is amazing, but a middle linebacker, Patrick Queen, gets in that system, plays well and gets going. That defense could look good, and I think he'll improve a lot in there. At 25 again, the Minnesota Vikings are back on the clock. I have them taking Laviska Shenault, wide receiver out of Colorado. Stephon Diggs has gone to Buffalo, and I think they need a wide receiver to replace him and also help him because they've just given Kirk Cousins a load of money, and he'll grow. No one better to grow next to than Adam Thielen, so I think so. And Laquan Treadwell has gone now as well. He was a bit of a bust, but he's gone as well. Number 26, I have the Miami Dolphins taking Josh Jones, offensive tackle out of Houston. He's still got a lot to go. Start of the year, I had him graded as a 3rd to 4th rounder. Now I see him again at the bottom of the 1st round. I think he's good. He's a bit sloppy with his footwork. He isn't really your typical tackle. He's pretty big, obviously, for him to be a tackle. But yeah, he's sloppy. His footwork isn't the best. He needs to also work on his hands. But if he gets all of them down, he could be amazing. So. Number 27, I have the Seattle Seahawks taking AJ Epineza, defensive end out of Iowa. His draft stock took a big hit after a terrible combine. Not many people expected him to have a good combine anyway, but he was pretty bad. And I don't know. He's fallen off a lot. At the start of the year, I had him going like top 10, top 15, 2nd like edge behind Chase Young, obviously, but. No, I don't think he's gonna be like a superstar. But Seahawks need edge. I think they'll get him, and he's there. But this is in my opinion, this is a sort of like trade down scenario. But Tedrick Thompson is on the trade block as well for Seattle, and Grant Delpit's available. So this is also a possibility for Grant Delpit. But I think it'll be AJ Epineza. And yeah, at 28, I have the Baltimore Ravens taking Kenneth Murray, linebacker out of Oklahoma. He's also risen up draft boards a lot. I had him rated in the late 2nd to early 3rd. Now I have him going in the bottom of the 1st round. This one's also a bit of a debated one. But I think the Ravens need a linebacker, and he's there. You take him. But yeah, let's see. The Tennessee Titans, they've just signed Ryan Tannehill to a lot of money. Derrick Henry to the franchise tag. They've just got to get that defence back going again. This one for me was also a toss-up between your two Gross Matos, but I ended up going with Zach Bourne out of Wisconsin. I think he's going to be a good player in the NFL. I didn't even have him in my top 5 or like top 10 big boards like at the start of the year really at all. No, I think Zach Bourne's one of the best edges in the draft, possibly top 20 player in the draft. And falling to 29 in the hands of the Titans, you got to take him. Number 30, I have Denzel Mims, wide receiver out of Baylor. I had a 5th round grade on him at the start of the year. Now I have him going in the 1st round. He kind of rose up draft boards a lot at the end of the season. And yeah, fantastic pick this will be for the Packers. They need to give Aaron Rodgers some weapons. Devante Adams number 1, but the other ones at number 2 they've got like Equanimeous St. Brown, who's terrible. Marquez Valdes-Scantling, who's also terrible. Add Denzel Mims and get a free agent wide receiver in there, and that's a good offense again, some weapons there. At number 31, I have the 49ers taking Neville Gallimore, defensive tackle out of Oklahoma. This for me is just really a replacement for DeForest Buckner, who was traded to the Colts. He's not going to be as productive as DeForest Buckner, no way. He might be over time, you never know how he'll turn out, but right away it's just to fill in and like take over. But yeah, this is a pretty easy pick to see, and I think happening. This pick for the Chiefs was pretty hard to make. I wasn't really sure who to take. We're at 32 in the draft. You're kind of like, don't know who's there. But I've actually taken Cesar Ruiz, who's played guard and centre for Michigan. Stefan Wisniewski's gone to the Steelers. Obviously, we've got Laurent Duvernay-Tardif and Cam Irving, Mitchell Schwartz, etc., etc. The list can go on. Some of them slip my mind. But Cesar Ruiz to the Chiefs is a move I can definitely see happening. Protect Patrick Mahomes, but that team could turn into a dynasty. You've got players like Patrick Mahomes, obviously Tyreek Hill still there. On the defensive side of the ball, if they decide to keep Chris Jones, Kendall Fuller's gone. Tyrann Mathieu, one of my favourite players in the NFL. And the team is looking good. What's his name? Juwan Thornhill, second round pick last year. Also got injured, missed the playoffs, but was amazing. And yeah, one player, like I mentioned earlier, that didn't make it into the first round is Grant Delpit. Start of the year, some people had him a lot going top 15. Now I don't even think he makes it in the first round. He's had some issues with tackling, making tackles, and just being consistent. Obviously, as an LSU fan, I got a bit of bias towards him. But in this draft, I tried to keep biased out of it. I think Xavier McKinney is better. I don't think Grant Delpit's a first-round safety anymore. He's a player that will be taken on, groomed and worked on behind a more experienced safety and a good experienced defensive backs coach that knows how to handle situations like this with players who have tackling issues, etc., etc. Yeah, if there's anyone else I missed, please feel free to let me know. And that is my first mock draft. This video is going to be long, be like 22-23 minutes long. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I will see you tomorrow. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see ya.